Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and we just got a new trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 coming May 2023. This is the last film from James Gunn in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's the third chapter of the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. It's gonna break our hearts. I'm sure I'm gonna love it. I'm super excited to react to this trailer and then go through some of the highlights before, in a separate video, I will break it down frame by frame. Hey, quick reminder, this Friday, February 17th, is gonna be the launch day of our new channel, The Deep Dive, in which I'll be doing more focused, investigatory analyses of things like Loki, WandaVision, Everything Everywhere All at Once. And on Friday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, I'll be doing a live breakdown of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. You can join me in real time to talk about that movie. So subscribe at Deep Dive NR, and you can support our growing New Rockstars network by checking out our merch options at nerdriot.shop, like this Quantumania inspired shirt, Reign Eternal. So let's take a look at this trailer. Here we go. Okay.
I'll tell you something.
It sounds like
I'm Star-Lord.
this is Rainbows Since You've Been Gone. Rainbow's cover of Since You've Been Gone. Not Kelly Clarkson. Oh, wow. It's a good song. It's always great song choices for this.
My sacred mission.
Okay, High Evolutionary.
He didn't want to make things perfect.
Oh, that's his number.
I want you all to know that I'm grateful to fight beside my friends.
Okay, bye, Drax. Ooh, good night. What does that mean, though? The
We're
face
always
of
searching for a
music.
family until we found each other.
What is that thing?
We'll all fly away together.
Crying a little bit there.
Into the forever and beautiful sky.
I mean, it's probably going to be the case that Drax dies, but
Whoever it was that you were in love with, it sounds more like her.
Do not bring me into this.
wow. Oh boy, this is gonna be a heavy one. A quick reminder of where we last left off with the Guardians of the Galaxy. We actually saw them last in the Guardians Holiday Special that came out in December. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking it out. It explains how the Guardians have now taken over the severed celestial head location of nowhere. They've actually bought it from the Collector, and they've turned it into kind of a refugee for all the different people who Thanos has displaced from his conquests. Nebula now seems to be in charge of it. They've also teamed up with Cosmo, the space dog, who we saw in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. It's gonna be voiced by Maria Bakalova. The Guardians are still in the crosshairs of Aisha from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, who we last saw in that movie's post-credit scene, is gestating someone in a golden cocoon who will be Adam Warlock, played by Will Poulter in this movie. He's the weapon that Aisha has sent after the Guardians, and since he was pretty much born yesterday, he's gonna have more of an infantile mind. But this movie's gonna be very Rocket-centric. We're gonna learn his origin story. Looks like he was a creation of Herbert Wyndham, the High Evolutionary, Chukwudi Iwuji's character. He's considered one of the big geneticists of Marvel Comics, wanting to create a perfect world, but as Rocket explains in this trailer, is someone who just hated the world as it was. Hey, we've got a new place to buy the coolest stuff, nerdriot.shop. We took our merch shop, gave it a glow up, and added a bunch of cool new clothing and gear handpicked by the team at New Rockstars. So if you've been obsessing over The Last of Us as hard as we have, make sure to toss a Lost in the Darkness tee into your go bag before the next post-apocalyptic cross-country road trip. And we have a very stylish line of Quantumania tees, hoodies, and beanies featuring cool designs inspired by the upcoming Marvel film. MT even came up with one himself based on Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, but with Kang in there instead of a naked Italian dude. We are really excited that they're available ahead of the release of the film, so you can order now and wear them to the theater on opening night. You can exchange high fives with other members of the Kang gang in the concession line. To get your hands on those and some very stylish New Rockstars logo designs, head to nerdriot.shop today and keep an eye out for our upcoming Mandalorian Season 3 designs. Join the riot over at nerdriot.shop. We should quickly talk about the music in this trailer, because James Gunn always writes his songs into his screenplays. He actually had the track list of this movie planned out as he was writing the script, and every song has in-context meaning for the characters, both on a literal level and on a spiritual level. This is Rainbow's Since You've Been Gone, a 1979 song. The lyrics go, "I get the same old dreams, same time every night, fall to the ground and I wake up. So I get out of bed, put on my shoes, and in my head, thoughts fly back to the breakup." Now we're seeing this over memories of Peter Quill and Gamora in the history they had. Remember, the Gamora in this movie is the Gamora from Avengers Endgame, who has no memories of her time with Peter Quill because she was displaced from the 2014 era of the timeline when she came to the present day with Thanos and his forces. They've run back into Gamora in this movie, and it sounds like she's gonna be leading a group of the Ravagers. But the other breakup that this song refers to is the past history between Rocket and Lyla. That's the otter-looking creature that Rocket spent some time with when they were both lab experiments of the High Evolutionary. We know this movie's gonna be visiting a location that is either half-world, but is more likely counter-Earth, which is an artificial world that's created by the High Evolutionary. It looks like he's populated this reality that's set in the 80s with these animal humanoids. Now it looks like we're going to see the High Evolutionary in at least 2 different eras. A modern era where his head is bald, he's got this interesting headpiece, but also a previous era where he had a more normal haircut. That's probably the era when he created Rocket. We see a flashback of a younger Rocket and these restraints. It's heartbreaking. We see a close-up of the code 89P13. That was Rocket's registry number when he was booked on Xandar in the 2014 film. That might actually be his name, whatever he's registered with in the Nova Corps. Pretty messed up that the torture number that was given to him is a number that follows him around everywhere. It looks like this version of Counter-Earth / Half-World is gonna be attacked by Adam Warlock. This suburb gets torn apart as he zips through it, chasing Gamora, carrying an incapacitated Rocket. It's interesting, in the earlier trailer for this scene, when we see the Guardians coming off that ship, Rocket is not with them. So it looks like they're rescuing Rocket from this place. We get a bit more Groot action in this trailer. A reminder that Groot is now in this kind of swole Groot, Alpha Groot form. We saw this in the Guardians holiday special, but the idea is that he's kind of in this jock young adult phase where his body is growing differently than the adult Groot that we saw in the 2014 film. That's because he is that Groot's progeny. He's his son. He's not the same Groot, so he's gonna have a different anatomy. I actually had what I think is an interesting theory that this Groot's exposure to half celestials like Mantis and Peter Quill might have given him a photonic knowledge absorption process where he's absorbing celestial light, and that caused him to grow differently. Probably last thing that's worth talking about is this weird little creeper with 4-pointed ears, a terrifying mouth, who looks like he could be related to Morris from Shang-Chi. I have no idea what this is, but I assume it's another one of Herbert Wyndham's lab experiments. Something that should not exist, who's had a tortured existence. Every time he opens his mouth, it's a scream of pain. Everything hurts. I can't go on. Breathing is pain. My soul is on fire. I know there's no afterlife. Just give me that sweet slumber. So assuming that Drax isn't gonna make it out of this movie alive based off of the various things Dave Bautista has said about this being like his final movie in the MCU, who else do you think might die in this movie? Do you think Rocket will make it out alive? Do you think this movie will spare Lyla but then kill her off by the end of it? Comment down below with what you think will be the most heartbreaking moment of this film, and a reminder to subscribe to the deep dive launching this Friday. We are gonna go live with 5 premium videos that you're gonna love, including the Quantumania live stream. We're gonna dig into all the spoilers of it, so beware for that. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EAVoss. You can follow New Rockstars. You can subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye.